With so many new shooters out there, there's a lot of people wondering what is the correct way to sight in a rifle. So in this video, I'm going to kind of guide you through the simple steps to do it to have more success in the field. Very first, the most important thing to start off with is to ensure that your scope is correctly mounted to your rifle, or your scope is mounted correctly to your shotgun, whatever it may be. Everything should be tightened the exact same and nothing should be loose. Your crosshairs should be perfectly centered. You don't want anything cockeyed or turned or loose. This will give you a lot of problems down the road. Then you need to make sure that you have the correct ammunition for your gun and head out to the range. Now, I always like to make sure to bring ear protection and eye protection and ensure that you have the ammunition that you plan to use in the field while hunting. If you have a couple different options, bring them all out to the range to see what shoots best. Next, I really like to have a steady table and some sort of a shooting rest to shoot off of. Because when you're sighting in, you want to know what the gun is doing and try to take as much human error out of it as possible. So the very first step, put your target close. Now, you may plan on shooting 100 or 200 yards, but when you're going to sight in a rifle, start out close. I like to start at about 25 yards. We usually use cardboard boxes or any type of target you have. Ensure that you have something safe in the background to stop your bullets so you're not shooting towards any buildings, people, things like that, and take those first shots. The closer you are, the easier it is to get on paper. Now, some people like to bore sight their gun, and this is something that can easily be done. You can buy a bore sighter, screw it in at the end of your gun, and it shines a laser to a target. Now you can adjust your crosshairs to that laser so everything's pretty well lined up. Now, by no means does this mean it's sighted in. It's just going to be easier for you to be on the paper when you take those first shots. Once you've taken those first shots, now comes the time for adjustment. Now, every scope is different, so if you take off your scope caps, you'll see how many clicks it takes to move that scope an inch at 100 yards. Now remember, you're shooting at 25 yards, so that is going to be 4 times the amount of clicks. So make your moves and then shoot again. Once you are dialed in at 25 yards, now move it to 50. Shoot again and make your adjustments. Now, for me personally, I like to have all my guns sighted in at 100 yards. The reason is because most of my shots are right around 100 yards, but everybody has differences in what they like. So get it to 100 yards, get it sighted in. Then if you so choose and you want it maybe at 200, take your shot at 200. But understand your ballistics, know what your gun does, and know what the drop is. Even if you sighted it in 100 yards, I like to shoot it at 200 if you have the option. So that way you know not only where your gun is hitting, but what you're capable of doing. Because you want to take good ethical shots and you want to know not only what your equipment can do, but what you're capable of. So get out there, spend some time at the range, get that gun sighted in, and you will be thankful when you have a very, very great fall this year.